The Ralph Bunche Society is a student program which is designed to increase opportunities for minorities to pursue global vocations and interests. It is three-pronged, if you will. The first prong and its foundation is learning about the life and legacy of Dr. Ralph Bunche, first person of color to win the Nobel Peace Prize in 1950. Second prong is Ralph Bunche Societies is an entree into internship opportunities to place these minorities after learning of the legacy of his style of humanitarian global diplomacy into internships so that they can begin to interface and network with the movers and shakers that are actually out in the world doing the work. And prong number three is these societies are designed to place these students that have been properly trained in jobs and in the decision-making positions. So those are the three pillars of the program. We chose to honor Dr. Bunche because he's organically one of our own. He was a trustee of the Phelps-Stokes Fund for 22 years. And it all was a perfect storm, a perfect positive storm, if you will. Secretary General of the United Nations at that time, Kofi Annan, held a Ralph Bunche commemoration celebration, which was designed to eradicate, if you will, the dearth of information about Bunche and his role in the United Nations and the minority diplomatic work and scholars of the like. And out of that, out of the commemoration came several programs that would work to get America and the world to know Dr. Bunche. We took on the educable portion, which was Ralph Bunche Societies, which would be propagated in institutions of higher education throughout the country, targeting minority institutions in particular, but open to all, and institutions that conferred upon Dr. Bunche an honorary doctorate degree. So we chose to champion this cause because of that fact, and also the gravitas of his work in global relations and international peace. If he were not one of ours organically, we would have still championed this work because of his stature of bringing peace to the world and being a trailblazer for people of color to be global players in the world body politic, if you will.
I think we have the task of using whatever other means are available to us or what other kinds of forum may be available to us to ensure that we pronounce or promote the Ralph Bunche cause. And that's why I'm so happy that we have a Ralph Bunche Society on campus today. And I would hope and imagine that one of the challenges, more or less like an agenda item of the Ralph Bunche Society on campus, is to teach other students in like manner about the accomplishments of Ralph Bunche and also who Ralph Bunche was really during his time and what he has done for us in society.
Dr. Ralph Bunche was greatly involved in the international arena, peacekeeping. He also had some of his students from Howard University highly involved in his projects in Asia and his travels. So I think his legacy today, he would like greater minority involvement in the international arena, and that's why today we have the Ralph Bunche Societies. WSSU is the first school to have Ralph Bunche Societies. We're going to have another school coming up, University of Maryland at College Park will be the second school. He would like for students to be more involved in the international arena, prepare minority students for the international field, and for us to be an overall global society.
Essentially, him just being present in the international arena speaks volumes, considering America doesn't have the best record for civil justice. We certainly have African Americans who are pivotal in international endeavors as well as endeavors here in America.
It's a tough question because his exploits are many, and to narrow them down to just one is very difficult. But if I had to choose one at this stage of my job, if you will, in propagating these societies. I think his greatest legacy is the fact that he was a trailblazer and a first in many respects to do global works in a diplomatic vein, being a person of color. That in one sense, that's a disservice to all of the content and the work that he actually did, which is still reverberates to this day. When you see the blue hat UN peacekeepers in the Congo or in Southeast Asia, that was Dr. Bunche's creation. He came up with that idea. So not to push his work to the side, but I found that we've run into people of color in the Foreign Service, and they all seem to unanimously say, my role model was Dr. Bunche. So the far-reaching shadow of his legacy that brings minority diplomats even in today would have to be his most powerful attribute of his legacy. So the fact that he was a first and a trailblazer would be what I would say.
For those who work for the memory of Ralph Bunche, the climb is still uphill. But with the help of the Ralph Bunche Society and the Phelps Stokes Fund, the work of Dr. Bunche will never be forgotten.